I'm finally back home after an epic WrestleMania 42 trip out in Las Vegas, and today we're going to be breaking down all of the WWE Ultimate Edition action figures we got out there at WWE World from Mattel, man. And we're going to do tons of videos breaking it down. We did do a full walkthrough in person in Las Vegas at WWE World, man. If you'll go over there and watch that video before this one, I'd greatly appreciate it. Or just go over there, leave a like, I'd greatly appreciate it. But today we're going to get into every Ultimate Edition figure that we saw at WWE World, and we're going to break it down, man. Let's not waste any more time. I'd love to know what you thought of overall reveals down in the comment section. But let's dive into the first figure, man. We got Ultimate Edition Sheamus, man. We have our first Ultimate Edition Sheamus. This is somebody I did not expect to see at WWE World under reveals, man. Really didn't. Really did not expect this whatsoever from Mattel. You know, they kind of shock dropped this one on us. It wasn't on any list, and we're finally getting a Sheamus, man. I think this is somebody that a lot of people had on their wish list. His formula looks beautiful. You know, I feel like Sheamus is one of those guys they've always gotten correct, which is kind of crazy. Not many people can say that. Comes with a yelling head sculpt. It looks like he's going to come with a few accessories. I'm guessing he's going to come with some sort of cloth goods robe or cape or something. And then he does have 3 interchangeable head sculpts. I think this is good, man. It looks like he's going to come with some great stuff. And then he even has those kind of C-gripping style hands. And maybe that's going to be the gripping hands moving forward. Maybe the old mic holding hand style is getting removed from the line, which I think is kind of crazy. So you'll get fists, you'll get that kind of wrench holding hand, and then you'll get some sort of other hand. So maybe they're getting rid of the typical traditional C-grip or mic holding hands that we have seen over the past 16 years plus from Mattel. But the Sheamus looks really good, man. He was kind of a shock of the entire weekend. Of course, no render of this figure. We don't know what gear it's going to be. We don't know really anything about it, which is a big gripe I saw from a lot of people. A lot of people upset we didn't see renders. I think I would join in on that. You know, that was pretty disappointing not to see any renders. I think that a lot of people look forward to those, you know, so I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But the Sheamus figure was pretty damn good, man. I like the Sheamus. I thought they looked good. And then we get a little bittersweet figure here because we have Brock Lesnar's Ultimate Edition. Now, you guys know, if you were unaware, the second Ultimate Edition Brock is my favorite Ultimate Edition that they've ever done. I think that in terms of quality and likeness and different things, the Ultimate Edition Brock from Series 15 with the Ultimate Warrior is the best Ultimate they've made to date. And I'm wondering if this one is going to be able to match that quality, you know, because this one from the neck down is essentially the exact same figure. Of course, this one will not be made in the same factory. And it's funny because, you know, I used to joke about that figure saying that, you know, it was made in a different factory. And this one really will be made in a different factory, because I thought the quality was so good of that first Ultimate, or that second Ultimate Brock, you know what I mean? And then this third Ultimate here is pretty much the same figure, at least in, you know, looking at it here, but it does have some differences. You know, he is going to have the updated haircut, even though it's kind of outdated now. It's even longer now, as we saw he retired, apparently, at WrestleMania 42. But it looks like he's going to have pinless legs. The first 2 Ultimates of Brock did not have pinless legs. And then his boots here are different. He's going to have an entire new boot mold, I'm pretty sure, with new feet and everything. I'm interested to see how this one compares to his other Ultimates, because his first Ultimate in Series 4 was really damn good. And then the second Ultimate in Series 15 was incredibly good. One of the all-time Mattel figures of all time, at least to me. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what comes of this. What accessories is he going to have? Of course, we don't know all the ins and outs just yet, but I'm excited for this figure, and we'll have to see if it all pans out when we get it in hand. But we also had a look at Iyo Sky, man. This was a great-looking figure. I love the likeness on this, and I think that it looks so damn good. Really, really impressive. Great sculpts on here. I think that this is going to be her best figure. The likeness on that yelling head sculpt, that kind of happy joy head sculpt, is pretty insane. She's got the pointer fingers. This is a terrific figure. I'm really excited to see what it comes together like. I know you can't really, you know, put it up to imagination, really, because you don't have the render. We don't know what exactly it's going to look like. I think this is her kind of white rainbow gear, and I will plug in an image that somebody kind of rendered it out. I think his name was My Wrestling or something. I'll have to go back and check it. I'll try to plug in the handle there, but he did a render, or a prototype render coloration of this, and it looks insane. It may be one of the most insane women's figures that Mattel's ever made, so I will plug that in to the best of my ability. But this Iyo Sky was truly impeccable. Great looking figure. Can't wait to see what it looks like when it's all said and done. But that takes us into Bronson Reed's Ultimate, and dude, this is one that I thought we would get in Elite Series 127. And maybe it's the same figure, just in ultimate form, but it's supposed to be, SummerSlam, where he's got the Shula Falas. He comes with the sneakers. Now, I was told that this figure, the Shula Falas, will be shrunk down. You can tell they're a little big here. I'm hoping that happens. I think they also got to make some changes to the shoes because they look too much like Jordan 4s, kind of similar to probably a Jordan 11 situation with Sid Vicious out of the Monday Night Wars line. This figure looks incredible, though, and I'm not the biggest Bronson Reed fan of all time. I never have been. To a certain extent, I think he's good and solid and whatever, but he's never been one of my favorite guys, to say the least. But the Shula Falas here looks so cool, man. I think this is awesome. He's also going to come with a Tribal Thief shirt. So I love this, man. I hope he poses well. I'm interested to know if he has the torso that we're looking for in terms of the Sheamus torso, the Goldberg torso, that new style articulation, the ball joint at the waist. I'm interested to know if that is going to come on this Bronson Reed. I would think not, but we'll see. And I think this is a fantastic Ultimate, one of my favorite reveals probably. I don't know what I would think out of a top 10, but I like the snarling head sculpts. This is a good-looking Ultimate. I'm excited for this. And again, I know it leaves a lot to the imagination because we don't know what it's going to look like in fully colored, things. And I'll get into it when we break down the Goldberg, a little bit more of what I think, but this figure has a ton of potential. I'm really excited for the Bronson Reed. I thought this looked really, really good. And that takes us into the Ringside Exclusive Ultimate Edition WRESTLEMANIA Jey Uso here, which looks pretty damn cool. Jey Uso had so many figures shown off at WWE World. It was kind of ridiculous. He had 4 different figures already colorized, all out there. He had 2 Survivor Series figures, a WrestleMania. Dude was killing it with the figures, but this figure does look good. He comes with a world title, kind of a repaint of the Ultimate Edition Series 26. He comes with a different pair of Yeet glasses. They're repainting those defining moments Elite Jey Uso hands, the foam finger hands or the Yeet hands, and they're including them here. I think that's brilliant as well. This figure does look toyetic, man. This is also up for pre-order. They did put up a lot of pre-orders over at Ringside Collectibles, man. So if you guys want any of these figures, go over there. Use code MD Toys to save yourselves 10%. But Jey Uso also looked really good. I know that we have seen a couple Jey Usos in Ultimate. He's getting more figures here, and he's kind of become the Jeff Hardy. He's become the Rey Mysterio, where they are pumping this guy out multiple times over. And it is what it is. They're going to sell, and people like them, and at least they look good, and they're different in color, and so you can let me know what you think. But Jey Uso's getting an Ultimate. This is a Ringside exclusive, and it looks very toyetic. I enjoy this figure, even if it is the same thing over again. His first Ultimates, or his first few Ultimates, were pretty good. Even that, that Ultimate 26 we talked about was very good, so I'm sure this one will probably follow suit. And then we have one that's interesting, man. We have Liv Morgan's Ultimate. Now, I don't know the set or whatever, but one thing that stands out to me with this figure is no butterfly joints. There's no butterfly joints here. I don't know if that's going to change. I'd imagine it won't. I hate to say that, but I don't think we're going to see butterfly joints on this Liv. That is pretty disappointing considering, we haven't seen a women's figure not include the butterfly joints in a while. It's been a very long time since that's happened. So that is kind of bummy. I really want them to include that, but she does have the ball joint waist like we saw on Rhea, like we saw on Chelsea Green, like we saw on Tiffany Stratton, and like we're going to see on a lot of women's figures moving forward, which I think is great. But also, you're only featuring one new head sculpt, I think, on this gear, which is interesting, or on this figure. You kind of have like a repeat of the Elite 103 head. You got a repeat of that smiling head sculpt. I think they're just changing the hair again, I believe. But then you do have a yelling head sculpt. Liv Morgan has not had the greatest track record when it comes to head sculpts, and it's weird because I thought that we would see those grayed out head sculpt prototypes that we saw way back at Comic-Con. And so maybe we have to wait till Comic-Con again to see that figure because we still didn't get that figure. The kind of Chucky faces that were supposedly going to be on an Elite. We didn't get anything about that figure, which I thought was kind of crazy. So I don't know. I guess it's just a wait and see game. I don't know what all they held close to the vest. We'll have to wait and see at Comic-Con and just to see what comes of it. But yeah, this Liv Morgan I think it's just wait and see, man. I think I'm wait and see here. I don't think that it's, over the top. We'll have to, it leaves it up to the imagination because it is just prototype, and it looks like a lot of repeat stuff, no butterfly joints. I'm just, I'm kind of up in the air. I don't know what to think about it, so we'll have to just wait and see there. But let's move on to the next Jey Uso. which is going to be the Survivor Series Amazon exclusive PLE Survivor Series Jey Uso. And this is an Ultimate. Looks very toyetic again. This is Amazon exclusive. It looks really good. It comes with that hoodie. It comes with another pair of Yeet glasses. You know, it's funny, on the channel we talked about for years, any Jey Uso they make, they need to include the Yeet glasses. So they need to include a new pair of Yeet glasses so we can kind of collect those while we're collecting the figures. And they're doing so again. You're getting that same formula. It's changing the gear. It gives you new entrance gear. It is what it is. It's a repaint of his previous figures. And again, it's going to be solid. It'll be a fine Ultimate Edition. But, you know, if you want this specific gear, this one's there. But it does look very toyetic. They did a good job here. You know, I'm not worried about it. I think that it's going to be a solid Jey Uso representation. And, you know, if you compare it to his other Jey Uso Ultimates, I'm sure it'll fit right in there. I can't wait to kind of get all these in hand to see what they look like up next to each other. But that also takes us into the next Ultimate, which I thought looked really damn good. As a Cody Rhodes fan, this SummerSlam PLE Amazon exclusive, I think is already up for pre-order right now. I will put a link in the description below if you guys want to go pre-order this Cody. This figure looks fantastic, man. It looks fantastic. The only critique I have of this figure is no knee pads. I'd like to see some consistency across the line, but I think, you know, Skull Mask, we're getting that again for the third time on an Ultimate. I like that they're, you know, kind of making that important and including that. I like the Skull Mask. You know, I guess it kind of makes the other Ultimates maybe feel less important to you. I'm not entirely sure, but he comes with another cloth goods jacket. It does look like it fits particularly well. He's got the shoulder pads, you know, kind of sculpted on there. He's going to come with the Undisputed Championship or the WWE Championship. Blue gear looks really nice. It also still looks like they're using the old Cody Rhodes Ultimate Edition boots, so he's not going to have the ankle pivot yet, which I kind of like because he's not going to have clown feet. I kind of like that. And you'll also notice in the promo images, pretty sure he doesn't have the tattoo on the face. So that's huge, man. That's the second Cody Rhodes we've got over the reveal week. That, you know, or the reveal day, I should say. We really didn't have a reveal week, did we? But the Cody Rhodes here looks really good. I'm excited for it. And maybe there's a way you could put knee pads on here that would match in color. And maybe we'll play with that on surgery. Or maybe they'll do this attire in basic and throw the knee pads on there. They've never done that before. I don't think they've ever given a Cody Rhodes basic since he's come back to WWE in the American Nightmare gimmick. I don't think they've ever given him knee pads in basic form. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe they do it in elite form. Or maybe there's some elite knee pads you could throw on here. And come to think of it, have they ever put them on the elites either? I don't know if they've done that either, man. So, I don't know. It'd be nice to have some consistency there. All his Ultimates before this one did have knee pads, but this figure looks really strong. It's very toyetic, and I like the way that it looks, and I think that it's going to be a nice Cody to add to the collection. But that takes us into the Greatest Hits Ultimate Editions, and we already knew about these. We've seen full images of these, so I don't want to spend a ton of time on them, but we did get to see Great Muta. We also got to see Logan Paul. Both of these looked really good in person. I think that, you know, the Great Muta has a slight change to the face paint, and then the Logan Paul's completely new in terms of paint job. It does have a gold and black color scheme, which looks really strong. The metallic gold they use is really nice, but we have kind of seen that movie before. Even though Logan Paul and Great Muta both have a great track record, it's just some figures we've kind of seen before, right? You just get that kind of repaint in there slightly, and, you know, you can do with that what you will. Same thing, I guess you could say, for Jey Uso, and, I mean, Cody Rhodes really, too. I mean, we're getting a lot of repaints, it seems, a lot of same characters. You can let me know what you think of that down in the comment section below, but this is interesting for sure with the Greatest Hits Ultimates, and that also takes us into Ultimate Edition Series 32 with Jake the Snake. Now, this is a set that we did get to see back at Toy Fair. We got to see him in on card. We got to kind of know what these guys were going to look like, and the Jake the Snake looks good, man. It's kind of a repaint again, like we've kind of touched on, of the Coliseum Collection Ultimate, which was really good. I really didn't see Jake the Snake getting another Ultimate, and not necessarily so soon, because it's been a while since that Coliseum Collection Series 2 figure, but I don't know, I just didn't see them sneaking a Jake the Snake into the main Ultimate Edition line, like a Series 32 like this, but it looks good. It comes with some cool accessories. You get that, you know, that kind of gouged eye head sculpt, which I like, so I like it, man. I like this figure. It's solid. It's not going to shatter the earth, but one thing that does shatter some glass here is going to be this Ultimate Edition Series 32 Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, if you go back a year to the Monday Night Wars Ultimate Edition, which I crowned as the best Ultimate of last year, this is a really strong figure. You're not getting kind of a 2-in-1, 3-in-1, but you do get entrance vest with this figure. You get the smoking skull. You get perfect head sculpts. I mean, this is a definitive Austin. You could say that Monday Night Wars one was definitive, but this one I think is the definitive because you are getting wrestling gear. Now, you only get one knee brace, whatever, but I think the standout here is going to be getting that accurate SummerSlam vest that the SummerSlam Elite from this year is not getting, or it did not receive. It also comes with the Smoking Skull Championship. It comes with the Yelling Head sculpt that was featured on the Mattel Creations revealed King of the Ring Throne Austin from the Austin 316 promo. And he's going to come with a Cloth Goods What shirt. Now, back at Toy Fair when we saw this figure, it was just mint on card, so we only saw the back of the shirt. So everybody just assumed, oh, it's probably just going to be the Austin 316 shirt again. However, here we get to confirm that it's the What shirt. That's a shirt we've never seen in the WWE Mattel line, except for, I think, a battle pack. And then we also saw it in rubber form, sleeveless, on those old rubber Mattel shirts back in the Hall of Fame Elite series that was exclusive to Target. So this is a big deal with the shirt. You can combine this with that Monday Night Wars, make kind of a 2001, 2002 Austin with the What shirt, which is really big deal. I think that's awesome. This is going to be another Austin that you can buy multiples of to make different fix-ups and different creations. I'm excited for it. I'm glad that we're getting it. I think I was kind of bummed when we first saw it because I thought it was the Austin 316 shirt. Now that it includes the What shirt, you get, that vest that we haven't seen in a very long time. You get different head sculpts than we got with that figure. At least you get that new Yelling one from the Mattel Creations revealed exclusive. I think this is big, man. I'm going to be grabbing multiples of this one, and I think it's a perfect formula for Austin. So I'm excited for this, man. It doesn't take too much to really get you, especially when you're getting that brand new formula with some accessories. This Austin is great, and I know it doesn't reinvent the wheel, but I don't think it really had to, right? So that is where I stand on the Austin. And then the final figure in this set is going to be WWE Ultimate Edition Series 32, Jacob Fatu, from his matchup at WrestleMania 41 against LA Knight. And this is a very strong figure. I think this is the best Jacob Fatu we've seen. He comes with that entrance mask, and I'm hoping we'll get WrestleMania 42 Jacob Fatu too, because he looked damn good versus Drew McIntyre. Like that gear a lot. The only critique I have of this figure is the shoulders and arms. They continue to give him small shoulders and arms. Very, very annoying in my opinion. I can't stand that. It's way too small for Jacob Fatu. I do like the added baggy legs or the baggy pants. I think that works nice. We're not getting clown feet on this guy because it is an Ultimate Edition. The only thing is the small shoulders and arms. I don't know how I feel about the torso either, but, the head sculpts, the wolf mask, the gear is solid. It's just small shoulders and arms. They need to be addressed. We got to get different shoulders and arms on Jacob Fatu. I just think it's way too small, and that's something that I would absolutely change. But this Jacob Fatu does look good. I am looking forward to it. I think it's solid, no doubt. But let's get into the next Coliseum collection, which is going to be Demolition. This is something that kind of got leaked out there by Steve on a couple live streams, and so it was in the background. We touched on it a little bit there, but getting Axe and Smash here in the Coliseum collection is huge. I think a lot of people are going to be excited about these. We even got a full photo gallery of these posted, which we have a lot of images to go through, man. There's so much news to catch up on. I haven't been home to kind of cover it all and talk about it, but we're going to do so over this week and get into things as we progress. We're going to cover the elites and just kind of break down every single thing because there's just so much to talk about, right? So the Coliseum collection here, I saw a lot of people saying they were skipping these because they have the elites, and I guess that makes sense. You do get some added bonus accessories in terms of head sculpts and different face paints, but I mean, I do guess if you have those elites and you're good with those, I think these will be better in terms of scaling. I think they also have bigger shoulders and arms, so maybe this is a selection. It'll also probably be a little bit better for display in terms of posing and stuff. I don't know entirely, but these figures do look really good, and if you want these, they are Ringside exclusive. You can use code MD Toys to save yourselves 10% when you're buying these, but I would like to know what you guys think, where you guys stand on it. We also have the Ultimate Edition Legends Ultimate Warrior. This is a figure we didn't know about. This is going to be the Ultimate that follows Hacksaw Jim Duggan. So the Legends Ultimate Bray Wyatt is hitting. After that, it'll be Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And then after that, apparently, it will be Ultimate Warrior, who does come in this white gear. It comes with a shirt. This is a very sweet figure. It does look very toyetic. I know, this figure is the, Ultimate Warrior has so many Ultimate Editions. I mean, why not, right? I mean, he is the Ultimate Warrior. He's kind of the staple of the line, if you will. He was in the first series and was kind of a big deal. And I like this gear, man. I like this gear. I like these head sculpts. You got the kind of war paint wore off. You get the shirt. It's a cool figure, I think that the tan looks good. This figure does look good, man. I'm a sucker for a white gear. I think it looks very clean, and this Ultimate Warrior will be sought after. And, I feel like a lot of people will track this down. I know that it's the same characters. I would like to see some new faces in the line, but it is what it is, man. I mean, they are kind of limited on the characters they can make sometimes. When they come into, if they can be made, they're going to come out and they're going to make them, and they're going to do their best. So hopefully this will be the case, and I'm excited to see, what comes to it and what's after this Ultimate Warrior. I'm sure we'll know at Comic-Con, but it looks like this figure is pretty primed and ready, so we'll see. And we did get a full official image gallery of it, which is kind of crazy. This isn't going to be hitting for a while, so I think that's kind of cool. But then we also had a look at the Monday Night Wars Ultimate Edition Goldberg. Now, this is a huge reveal, and I think if you asked me what was your favorite reveal, this might be it, man. And I know that's absurd, especially when you go back on the lore of the Fan Takeover Ultimate. If you've been around the channel at all, you know I drag the Fan Takeover Ultimate all the time. I think that the proportions are weird. I think the aesthetics of it are weird. Head sculpts aren't great. I think this is your definitive Goldberg right here, man. I think they absolutely knocked this out of the park. I like the new head sculpts. I like the shirt that it's including, but I think the biggest thing about this figure is obviously going to be the innovations when it comes to the torso and the neck. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this torso is going to feature, this is going to be the first men's Ultimate Edition in the Mattel line that is going to feature the ball joint waist like we saw in the AEW figure line and like we saw with the Tiffany Stratton, the Chyna, the Rhea Ripley, the Chelsea Green, that same ab articulation. This is something that we've talked about for years, improvements in articulation, especially when it comes to the ab crunch and such on figures, and hopefully this will feel good in hand. I think that's really all that it's up to. You know, we didn't get to see it standing straight up. We don't know what it looks like aesthetically. We don't know how it feels in hand. We don't know if it's going to be loose. There's a lot of different criteria here, man, but when you combine the butterfly joints with this style waist, with the drop-down hips and the legs and all these things, and I know they're not perfect on QC and whatnot, but these are going to be the most articulated action figures in the wrestling space that we have ever seen when you combine all these elements together. And I think this figure is massive, and that is why I'm so excited for it. I'm excited to get it in hand, see what it feels like. I'm also excited because this has a ball hinge. Now, if you go back to the Legends Bray Wyatt, it also featured the ball hinge. That was the first figure in the Mattel line to feature the ball hinge in the neck, which was a huge deal. But I don't have that figure in hand just yet. I've heard good things. I've heard bad things. I haven't gotten it in hand to kind of inspect it myself, so we will see what comes of that. But the fact that he can actually crunch over and look up at the same time is massive. You don't really notice how massive it is until you're posing these figures around, man. So I'm excited to finally get this in hand. But this Goldberg, not to mention just the added, articulation setup that this guy has. Look at the new head sculpts. Look at the open elbow pads. Look at the skin tone. Look at the championships. He comes with a slew of great things. This is going to be a beautiful figure mint on card. I'm really excited for this figure overall. I can't wait for it, man. This is a huge monumental step. It's like stepping on the moon almost, you know what I mean? It's a big deal here. Obviously, that's over exaggerated to a T, but I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this looks like, feels like, and all those different things. But we'll have to see what it looks like when it gets in hand. And, it's been over slightly, so it could be manipulating shadows and stuff. Hopefully, it's not too large up top. And there's a lot of different things here. And there's also a lot of ways this could go wrong, man. I'm just telling you, it could go severely wrong if it doesn't feel good in hand, if it doesn't look good, etc. Because, and I guess they could not implement it on certain figures, but that's a lot of tooling right there. It's a big step. It's a big leap. We'll see if it pays off, but I'm excited for it regardless. And then we also have the Ultimate Edition DX X-Pac, which I'm excited for. He's going to come with interchangeable heads. He comes with a World Tag title. Got that DX jersey in there from the Monday Night Wars line of the Road Dogg from the Greatest Hits Series 3. I'm excited, man. Again, another new torso here. It doesn't look too big on him, so I'm excited to see how he poses. It's exciting, man. I knew that we would get an X-Pac with this jersey at some point, but it looks like this is the moment that they're going to drop it on us, so I'm excited, man. I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what gear it is. I'm excited to see all these different things. I really wanted the white and green version, but I think I heard it's going to be the green and black, which is fine, I guess. Maybe down the line we can get a Greatest Hits Ultimate, or maybe they'll give us in the Elite line of an X-Pac. It won't be the last X-Pac we get. I'm sure we'll get that white and green at some point. I'm sure we'll get the damn Kurt Angle boots. I'm sure we'll get, appropriate fade Finn Balor and Roman Reigns head sculpts with the beard and the such, but we got to wait on those things. But we will cover all of the Elites, but this was every single Ultimate Edition that we got from Mattel, and I wanted to break them all down. We usually do this because we don't want to be sitting here for 3 hours breaking all this stuff down, but that's why we break it up so you guys can see all the details in its entirety. But we did post a vlog from Mania from a day where we got to be up close with Rhea Ripley revealing her new doll from Mattel Creations. We did a walkthrough of the entire WWE World Mattel booth, which was really big. And then we also did some other videos, man. So go check those out. I'd greatly appreciate it. Leave likes and comments. I would greatly appreciate it. But that is going to pretty much wrap it up for me today. Thank you guys so very much for watching, man. You guys are absolutely goated. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed one, and I'll catch you guys later.